Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers have been able to hold their own without Miguel Cabrera in the lineup. That's because the fill-ins have been solid. The Tigers 7-1 without Miggy. They'll try and make it 8-1 with a victory here this afternoon. Beautiful day for baseball. Welcome to downtown Detroit. Final game of the series, White Sox and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for the series finale. Tigers trying to not only to sweep this series, but the homestand as well. And it's really been amazing what they've been able to do without Miguel Cabrera in the lineup.
You know, they're clicking on all cylinders as we speak. We've talked about the bullpen. We've talked about the middle relief. We've talked about the starters offensively. They're running the bases with a lot of aggression, and they've got some guys in Hunter and Victor Martinez that really stepped up since Miggy's been out.
Yeah, you touched on the starters, and the starting pitching on this homestand has been absolutely outstanding. The Tigers have not lost on this homestand, due largely because of the starting pitch.
Well, when the Tigers assembled in Lakeland, Florida, this was way back in February, most of the experts knew they had one of the best staffs in all of baseball. Porcello was their number 5 guy, but you take a look at some of their numbers in their last 7 games, all on this homestand, 7-0 with a 1.11 ERA. You have 5 guys that have multiple pitches, multiple plus pitches, whether it be the slider or the curve for some, or the really good changeup. That's the one pitch that they all have in common. And if they continue to pitch at this type of stretch, at this rate, Tigers are going to roll through the American League Central.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios in New York. Coming up here this afternoon, Tiger bats have been booming. They've been flying high, as a matter of fact. 3 more home runs last night. How many today? We'll find out. Tigers Sox next. Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram trucks now get a great summer deal on a Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by RIOS. What a spectacular day for baseball here in the Motor City. Tigers, White Sox wrapping up this series here at beautiful Comerica Park. And another big crowd on hand here this afternoon as the Tigers go for 8 consecutive victories. Here's the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. DeAza, Ramirez, Rios, the top 3. Adam Dunn is cleaning up. He's at first base today. Konerko, the DH. Gillespie at third, and a bottom 3 of Viciedo, BECKHAM, and Tyler Flowers doing the catching here this afternoon. And they will face the right-handed offerings of Rick Porcello, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Rick Porcello has been on some kind of run. His last 4 starts, he has won all 4 of those outings, in the ERA just above 2. He comes in 8 wins, 6 losses. He's got that power sinker, so Johnny Peralta and Iglesias on the left side of the Tigers infield will be very, very busy this afternoon. And fielder at first, Santiago Peralta up the middle. Iglesias is at third. Dirks, Jackson, Kelly in the outfield. Torrey Hunter getting the afternoon off, at least at the beginning of this game.
And so here we go. Rick Porcello is ready to go to work. Alejandro DeAza stands in for Chicago. First pitch of the ball game is in for a strike on DeAza. Alejandro batting .273. He's hit 13 home runs this year. That is a career high for the White Sox leadoff man. A couple of hits in the series and a stolen base. Here is Porcello's 0-1. Fouled off 0-2. Tigers have won the first 2 games in the series. White Sox have now lost 9 straight games. Tigers have won 7 straight. Robin Ventura hoping to get out of town with at least 1 win and snap that long losing streak. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball to second. A couple of steps to his right, Santiago. 1 out. That's how we begin this one here today. We'll bring up ALEXEI Ramirez. Top 4 in the lineup today for the White Sox. DeAza, Ramirez, Rios, and Dunn. They combined are hitting .165 against Rick Porcello. We'll see if that trend continues here this afternoon. Ramirez 1 for 7 in the series with a double. And he chops one back up the middle. Johnny gets to it. Going to be a tough play. Pulled him off the bag. It'll be an infield hit. So Ramirez and his 23 stolen bases quickly aboard in this one. Johnny did a good job in getting to that ball, just couldn't get enough on it as Rios stands in. He has hit safely in 5 straight. Rios at .274 looks at a strike. He's at 12 home runs, and to many surprise is still in a Chicago uniform. There's a whole lot of talk that he might be headed to Pittsburgh or Texas, a couple of teams that are in need of a bat. But the trading deadline has come and gone. He is still in Chicago. Throwback, and Ramirez back in.
Porcello throws tons of ground balls, therefore it's imperative that he keep ALEXEI Ramirez over at first base to keep his double play in order.
2 nights ago, Pfister induced 3 double play balls from the Chicago White Sox. And Porcello very good at it as well. Rick will step off now, throw to second. They'll get him in a rundown. Nice play by Porcello. Didn't panic. Now we'll see if they can finish. Peralta runs him back and makes the tag. 2 gone, base is empty.
Strangely enough, had ALEXEI Ramirez just continued to run towards second base, he may have been safe, because Porcello didn't step off until late, and then a very poor throw to Santiago. He may have been able to slide in safely. And probably a little bit too many throws and needed to get the out there, but the bottom line is they got the out.
1-4-3-6. The old Little League pickle. And they finally tag Mr. Ramirez. 0-1 at Rios. Base is empty now. And a ground ball left side in the hole. Peralta can't make the play, and Rios is safe. He would have had to get rid of that ball in a hurry had he come up with it.
Yeah, his reputation is so good, though. They might give Johnny an error there.
Right off the heel of the glove. 2-out runner for Chicago. Here's Adam Dunn. So very early in this game, Porcello getting the White Sox to hit the ball on the ground. Dunn batting .218. They ruled it a base hit. Second hit of the inning for Chicago. And Rios himself a big threat to run. 24 steals down there at first base. There's a ball that missed outside. 2-0 on Dunn. 3 out of 8 in the series. And Dunn is one of those guys that will make the opposing pitcher work a little bit. In fact, he is second in the league in pitches per plate appearance. A little over 4 pitches every time he comes to the plate. He's up in the count 2-0. And he'll take, it's now 3 balls, no strikes.
And be careful here. If there's one guy that Robin Ventura would give the green light to on a 3-0 count, it would be Adam Dunn.
'66 RBIs for Dunn. He will swing, and he lines it to center. That's a base hit right off the end of the bat. And so the White Sox have 3 consecutive hits. Two on with 2 outs. And here is Konerko, the designated hitter today. Hmm. 11 for 31 against Porcello. With a home run, that's a .355 career average against Rick.
Porcello saw these Chicago White Sox on July 23rd in Chicago and pitched 7 really good innings, only gave up 4 hits to the White Sox and did not give up a run to Chicago. Strangely enough, though, he did walk 3 in that game. It's the only time he's walked more than 2 batters in any one start this year. The only time.
4 hits, no runs. 93 total pitches in that game. Rick is not a guy that'll go much over 100. Jim usually will pull him once he gets close to that marker. He has only gone 100 pitches 7 times this year. That'll get away all the way to the backstop, move the runners up.
A little bit of a sluggish inning here by Porcello. But he can still make one good quality pitch and get a ground ball to get out of it. He has such really good command. Very seldom does Porcello throw wild pitches.
So 2 men in scoring position, a 2-0 count on Paul Konerko. Konerko has really struggled since coming off the disabled list. He's batting just .209. Rick now will throw from the windup. Here's the 2-0. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pretty good this year, though, with 2 outs and men in scoring position. .350 for Konerko. Just underway here at Comerica on a beautiful day for baseball. Another big crowd. Tigers, White Sox wrapping up this series. Tigers have won the first 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Checked it inside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
close. Konerko did a nice job of laying off that two-seam fastball at 92 miles an hour.
Now it's 3-1. And Konerko wants time. Single by Ramirez. He was caught in a rundown for the second out of the inning, and then hits by Rios and Dunn in a wild pitch. And the 3-1. Missed it outside, ball 4. Load the bases.
Good pitch. Got a free parking spot down there for Konerko. Guy hitting .354 in his big league career against you. Why not let him just trot down to first base and go after the rookie, Gillespie?
Early visit from Jeff Jones. Looked like it might be a quick inning after they got Ramirez in the rundown, but now 2 singles and a walk, which will bring the Tigers pitching coach out. Conor Gillespie will be the batter due up. Porcello came into this game 7-5 lifetime against the White Sox, but an ERA of about 4.5. Rick was outstanding in the month of July, winning all 4 of his starts. Here's an opportunity now for the young third baseman Conor Gillespie. He's knocked in 25 this year. He looks at ball 1. Its ratio not all that good. In fact, of the 16 he has thrown, 8 have been strikes, 8 have been balls. And they've got him loaded up right now with Rios, Dunn, and Konerko. There's a breakdown on Rick. Here's the 1-0. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Peralta to the grass. And the threat is over. Gillespie pops up with the bases loaded. The top of the first inning. Here come the Tigers now. Jackson will be starting things off. The Tigers starting lineup presented by Southeast Michigan Ford Dealer. AJ, then Dirks and Kelly, your top 3, with again Cabrera out of the lineup. Torrey takes a day off as well. Fielder, Martinez, Peralta in the middle. And you've got Avila, Iglesias, and Santiago rounding it out for Detroit. And they will face Andre Rienzo of the Chicago White Sox.
Decent numbers down in AAA Charlotte for the Chicago White Sox affiliate. In 20 starts, 8-6 with a 4 ERA. He's got a fastball that will get up to 94 miles an hour and an outstanding curveball. Does not throw many changeups. He'll need to develop that pitch for left-handers.
And so Jackson is the first man he faces. The 1-0 pitch is hit in the air. Center field. DeYan calling for it. Drifting over now. And Jackson is out. 1 gone.
And Tim Hortons will sponsor the Chicago White Sox defensive alignment. In left field, it is VICIEDO. DeYan in center. RIOS is in right. BECKHAM and RAMIREZ are up the middle. GILLASPIE, Dunn, the corners. And Tyler Flowers is the catcher this afternoon.
Andy Dirks is batting in the 2 slot today. Jim Leland shaking the lineup up a bit, although he was waiting on Cabrera, who was able to take some swings before the game. They decided he would not be good to go. So Torre a day off and Cabrera a day off. So a different look in the 2 and 3 spots. Rienzo works quickly. He's out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. In fact, the first Brazilian-born player to pitch in the major leagues.
Is on my bucket list to get to Brazil.
Oh, I thought it was to pitch in the major league.
No.
Yeah, Brazil, very, very nice.
You've been there?
I have not. We have family there, and I hear it's gorgeous. I see pictures all the time.
Wow.
There's a breaking ball down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yan Gomes is the first position player. He's for the Indians to play in the big leagues from Brazil, but Rienzo is the first pitcher. Works at a pretty nice pace. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 6'3", 190, and 25 years old. Bouncing one in. That's ball 4.
Here's that number 3 spot that Miguel Cabrera has occupied the last number of years. They got some work early today, about 11 a.m., taking some batting practice. And they said he was hitting the baseball all into the seats in every direction. Also took some ground balls. And so it doesn't appear that Miguel is a DL candidate if he's out taking some batting practice and ground balls.
Tigers still holding out hope he would be able to play today, but they decided against it. Here's Don Kelly batting in the 3 slot. And he looks at ball 1. Kelly, since June 4th, is hitting at a .315 clip. Tigers have 1 on, 1 out here in the first. And Don shoots one in the air right back up the middle and caught by the shortstop Ramirez. Beckham was also moving in on it. 2 gone. Here's Prince Fielder. No secret to why the Tigers have done so well on this homestand. They have won every game so far. They're hitting nearly .300 as a team on the homestand, and opponents are hitting just $170, which illustrates how well the Tigers staff has done. In there for strike 1 on Fielder. Prince 2 out of 6 in the series so far. Oh, 0-2. Rienzo coming into this season was the 7th best prospect in the White Sox organization. He pitched in the World Baseball Classic for his native Brazil. And the 0-2. Hit to the right side, sharply right at Beckham, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. We go to the second, no score.
Here is today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And Rick Porcello, in his last 9 starts against the Chicago White Sox, his record is 7-1 with a great earned run average at 247, 33 strikeouts and just 11 walks. And they are batting just a shade over 200 against Porcello. Real good numbers for Porcello in his last 9.
Well, he was able to dodge some trouble in that first inning, gave up 3 hits, walked a batter, threw a wild pitch, and yet through it all, they did not score.
Since Porcello's come to the big leagues back in 2009, he has 27 victories against the American League Central. So he's done his best work against the Central.
DAYAN VICIEDO looks at a strike 0-1.
Verlander has 42 wins against the AL Central, which is number 1. Porcello number 2.
VICIEDO in the series 1 for 5. Batting .252. And he chops one on the ground toward third. Look at that scoop by Iglesias.
Quit it.
Oh, my goodness.
Quit it, Iglesias.
That's almost like one of those plays you make on the playground.
I could already see Jim go out to rein him in a little bit.
Look at this.
You know, Skipper's going to have to rein him in.
Well,
you know he is too.
Yeah, he is, but he made the play, and that's the bottom line. If you can do it, it ain't bragging.
Skipper's going to have to rein him in.
1 out. Porcello back to work against BECKHAM, who looks at a strike 0-1. BECKHAM batting .301 is 0 for 5 in the series. A couple of home runs this year. He's been on the DL with a bad wrist. Had some surgery on his wrist. These White Sox really have struggled with the bat. The pitching's been fine, especially in this 9-game losing streak. Their pitching has been holding up their end of the bargain. Just haven't been able to score a whole lot of runs. There's a high drive to the corner in left field. Dirk's coming over. Will he have room? He does. 2 gone. Well, here's some things. 3 of them, to be exact, that you need to know about Jose Iglesias. Played professional baseball at the age of 16 in Cuba. The teammates of Yasiel Puig in the Cuban junior national team. And we talked about this. He learned English when he was in AA in the Red Sox organization. He forced himself to learn English by rooming with an American player, watching American television.
Did not speak any Spanish. He just wanted the English language spoken to him so he could learn as quickly as possible.
Tyler Flowers, the batter.
Also told you last night that his nickname while he was in Cuba was Candalita, which means little fire. He's a small guy, but he plays the game with a lot of fire.
Let's get that bright red glove. Plays right into it. 0-2 on Flowers. 9 homers this year for Flowers, 24 RBIs. Porcello in search of the 1-2-3 inning. He's got it. Struck him out swinging, and down they go in order. Iglesias, a nice play to start this inning. Flashing that red glove. At 6 p.m. with Tigers Live. That's Tigers Indians tomorrow at 6 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. That'll be a big series. Top two teams in the Central squaring off. Rienzo back to the hill in a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Victor Martinez, Johnny Peralta, and then Alex Avila. Tigers got a walk in the first inning, but no damage against Andre Rienzo. Victor at 269, looking for that first hit in the series, 0 for 7. And that one's in there. Make it 0-2.
Now, Rienzo did a pretty nice job in his major league debut against the the Cleveland Indians. Gave up 3 runs, but none of the 3 were earned runs, and that's kind of been the problem with this White Sox squad all year.
It's tomahawked into center field, a base hit. Victor is aboard with his first hit in this series.
And Victor demonstrating some range with the bat. Rienzo tried to get that ball up and out of the strike zone, which he was able to do. But Victor Martinez still able to climb the ladder, get on top of it, and get himself a single into shallow center field.
We'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Johnny's hit a couple of home runs on this homestand, including one last night, one of 3 solo shots for Detroit. Checked it high, 1-0.
That ball that Johnny hit last night may be the furthest home run we've seen Peralta hit in the Tigers uniform.
Into the shrubbery in dead center field. And he drives this one to center. That's a base hit. And the Tigers are on the prowl here in the second inning with back-to-back singles. Nobody out. That'll bring up Avila. But Johnny continues to have a pretty good homestand. Avila's 0 for 3 in the series, but has 7 hits on this homestand for Detroit. He's got 2 men on here and nobody out. And he'll take ball 1. Here's that homestand for Alex. 318. 8 RBIs. 4 of them came on one swing of the bat. The grand slam he hit against Steven Strasburg with the Nationals in town.
Hit that grand slam on his mom's birthday.
Perfect timing. Swing and a miss. 1-1. If there's anyone, though, Rod, that you would think that might be able to get to a guy like Strasburg who throws upper 90s, it's Avila with that short, compact stroke that he had.
Especially in that ball that he hit off of Strasburg. It was right down in Alex's happy zone, right around the knees, and it was on the inner third. And he crushed it.
We got caught in between there, couldn't hold up. 1-2. Iglesias waiting on deck. Andre Rienzo in his second big league start had some good numbers before being called up when Jake Peavy was traded away. Good numbers in the minors.
He had a 4 earned run average in the minors, and there are a lot of people that watched his last start against the Cleveland Indians, who were a team that was on fire, and they just kind of wondered how a kid could have that high an earned run average in AAA, but yet pitch as well as he did the other day.
Well, I think the ERA in AAA was skewed because of some bad outings early in the season, but in the month of July his ERA was a little bit over 1. So he had been really pitching well before the call-up. And he continued that in that game against Cleveland. Ball high again. 3-2 now on Avila. So Rienzo is in a bit of a jam here, and it's getting deeper and deeper.
Do not know what Jim will do with the base runners here. You got nobody out, 3-2 count. I don't know if the risk is worth the reward if Avila strikes out and you start the runners.
My guess would be probably not, but we shall see. They're going. 3-2 is fouled on. So they had him on the move. 8 home runs this year for Avila. Early opportunity here in the second in a scoreless game. 2 on, nobody out. Runners go again, and a ground ball to first. They'll have only one play. Dunn will race to the bag for the out. Runners advance.
Jose Iglesias hit his first home run as a Tiger in last night's game. He hit it into the left field seats over the Tigers bullpen, displaying a little bit of pop out of their new third baseman.
Second home run overall, first as a Tiger. And Iglesias has already made a nifty defensive play in this game, now trying to drive in a couple of runs with a base hit. And it's in for a strike, 0-1. Off the end of the bat, foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Iglesias.
Rienzo, anytime he pitches in traffic when there's runners in scoring position, he goes to that curveball. We've told you it's an outstanding pitch for him. Fastball gets up to 94, not much of a changeup at all. That is something that he'll need to develop if he wants to have long-term success as a starter in the majors.
Led all White Sox minor leaguers with 113 strikeouts at the time of his call-up from AAA Charlotte. And a swing and a miss. Iglesias leaving the strike zone, and a well-timed strikeout for Rienzo.
And back-to-back breaking balls to Iglesias to get ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes. And then he elevated the fastball, but he got this one higher than the one that he got to Victor Martinez to get strike 3.
So here is Santiago now. It'll take a 2-out hit for the Tigers. 421 on this homestand for Ramon. Ball 1.
It was a busy winter for Rienzo. He not only pitched in the Arizona Fall League this last offseason, but he also pitched down in Venezuela as well.
Now the 1-0. Bouncing ball to first, right at Dunn. And Rienzo will pitch out of the jam. The Tigers get 2 men on but fail to score. 2 in the books, and you're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. Porcello back to the hill, and we tell you to vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Top of the order coming up for Chicago. DeAza leads it off, and he looks at ball one outside. DeAza, Ramirez, and Rios here in the top of number 3, the series finale between these two teams. 10 more to go still between the White Sox and the Tigers in the season series. There's a bunt, third base side, but foul.
And DeAza is a really good bunter. As a matter of fact, he bunted for a base hit a couple of nights ago in this series, and it was perfectly placed. And by the time Brian Pena picked it up, and DeAza was crossing first base. It's a nice weapon to have. Guy that can bunt for a base hit also. Guy can play leadoff, play long ball out of that leadoff slot with 13 homers.
Really nice weapon, really nice skill set. The 13 home runs this year for DeAza, career high. Now the 1-1. On a line to the right fielder, Kelly runs over to make the play.
And Porcello not real happy with that curveball that he hung there to DeAza. Great jump in the outfield, however, by Don Kelly to run it down.
It's 5 in a row now retired by Porcello. One gone here in the third. Here is ALEXEI Ramirez. Ramirez looks back at Tim McClellan, who goes up with the right hand. Did not agree with that call. Had a base hit back in the first. Then was caught in a rundown. And eventually was out in between first and second. Breaking ball bouncing in. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, that was a huge swing there by ALEXEI Ramirez.
Usually when you see hitters take swings that big, they usually come up empty.
Boy, that swing got real long. It is amazing, though, that a guy with his type of power, not huge power, but at this point in the year, only 1 home run. He did not go as they appealed down at first base. And the other thing about Ramirez is the home run that he hit was back on April 3rd.
It's been a strange year for him. He's done some positive things, and there's some things he has not done very well this year. Has not been good at shortstop, and he's a guy that many people in the White Sox organization felt would win a Gold Glove while wearing their uniform. It hasn't materialized.
Now the 2-2. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes on ALEXEI Ramirez. This is what they project. Well, he's on pace right now for just 2. 21 back in 08. Ground ball, fair ball, and a diving stop. Iglesias from his feet, not in time.
Prince almost helped him out there, but real good speed by Ramirez. What a play by Jose. And fans love it. Couple steps, takes the right angle, leaves his feet, gets up, flips the ball over flat-footed. Didn't get a lot on the throw. Nice pick by Prince, but not before ALEXEI Ramirez crosses the bag.
Fourth hit of the game for the White Sox. That'll bring up Alex Rios.
That would have been the 29th double of the season for Ramirez.
Rios had an infield hit back in the first inning. In fact, 3 of the 4 White Sox hits are the infield variety here today. 2-0. Chicago right now is in a stretch of 31 games in 31 days. They will have a doubleheader and an off day mixed in. So they do have an off day in there, but a doubleheader. But it's been a brutal stretch. They've lost 9 straight, 15 of their last 18. Here's the 2-0, and that's in for a strike, 2-1. Alex Rios again crossing the 20 marker in stolen bases, 24 this year, which gives him 5 different seasons of at least 20 steals. A little bit closer that time as Ramirez dives back in. ALEXEI with 23 steals this year. He was on the move back in the first inning. Porcello simply stepped off. They got him in a rundown and eventually tagged him out. Now the 2-1. Ground ball to third. Iglesias to second one, and the relay. Got him in time, a double play. They swinging around the horn, 5-4-3. All right, Mick, thanks. Here the Tigers and the White Sox are scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third, and Rienzo back to the hill. He is facing Tigers center fielder Austin Jackson to start things off. Then Dirks and then Kelly, and that one is shot in the air to right field. But Rios will move back to the warning track to pull it in. 1 out. Well, Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City all winning at a high clip right now. The Tigers own a 3-game lead over Cleveland. KC 7.5 back. And a big 4-game series opening up in Cleveland tomorrow.
Both the Tigers, well, all three. The Tigers, Cleveland, and also Kansas City. All three have won 9 of their last 10 games.
Here's ball 1 to Andy Dirks. Andy walked in the first inning. Well, we do know this. That'll be a pace that it's going to be impossible for all of those teams to keep up, because obviously they play each other, including beginning tomorrow night in Cleveland for the Tigers. 2-1 on Dirks. Andy has hit safely in his last 3. Rienzo with the 2-1. Popped him up. Shallow left field. Ramirez to the grass. 2 gone.
Tigers had their way against the Cleveland Indians. 14-5 in the last 19 games against the Tribe. Or is that? I'm not quite sure what that is, to be honest with you. Take another look at it.
Here's Kelly. Here's the ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Donnie has now hit in 6 different spots in the lineup for the Tigers this year. He puts a charge into that one. Rios leaping. And Rios in right with a terrific play to end the inning. Ball was hit hard. Tigers go 1, 2, 3. 6 in a row retired by Andre Rienzo. A little help from Rios on this one. Have had a couple of opportunities, but neither team has scored yet. And here come the White Sox. Dunn will lead it off. Dunn, Konerko, Gillespie in the top of the 4th, facing Rick Porcello on a sun-splashed Sunday afternoon here in the Motor City. Beautiful day. 72 degrees at the ballpark, and strike 1 is called on Adam Dunn. Dunn had a single back in the 1st. Clearly the best opportunity for the Indians. They loaded the bases, but Gillespie popped up. The 0-1. No, Dunn in the hole in the count now, and he has struck out this year 124 times, which is the 4th highest total in the American League. Also hit a lot of home runs. 25 of them with 66 RBIs. We'll foul that one back out of play. 0-2 the count stays on Dunn. And young fan will go home with a baseball.
What a gorgeous afternoon. Doesn't get any better than this.
A little bit outside. Yeah, I mean, you've got the sunshine covering just about every seat in the ballpark. Temperature is very mild at 72.
Not a lot of humidity.
Perfect day. Here's the 1-2. Driven deep to center field. Jackson backing up. He's going to look up on this one, and oh my goodness, that is way back and way gone for Dunn.
He's got that kind of power.
Second tier of shrubbery out there in center field. That was a monster home run. You can't hit one much farther than that in this ballpark.
Adam Dunn's been doing this for a long time. It's a fastball that's right around the belt buckle that really didn't do a whole lot. Boy, talk about squaring it up. He squared that one up.
I mean, it's one thing to get it over the center field wall, but to reach the second tier of shrubs out there in center field, pretty impressive. 1-0 Chicago, first run of the game. And Konerko looks at a ball inside. So Dunn is now 2 for 2 in this game. That's his 26th home run. Swing and a miss. Tigers had not allowed a home run in quite a while. In fact, the last homer they allowed was off the bat of Tyler Flowers back on the 25th in Chicago. And that was off Justin Verlander. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Konerko.
Last 4 runs scored in this series. 1 by the White Sox, 3 by the Tigers, all on solo shots. If you're going to give up home runs, those are the kinds that you want to give up. Porcello will not give up many 2- and 3-run home runs because he doesn't walk that many people, does not pitch in that much traffic.
Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Johnny's got plenty of time with Konerko running, and he throws him out. 1 gone.
Let's get back to some of those numbers that the Cleveland Indians have posted in their last 19 games. They've won 14 of those, and Ryan Rayburn has been on fire. 423 with 3 homers, 9 driven in, and their pitching staff this year has twirled 14 shutouts.
What?
Which is tied for most in the MLB.
I didn't realize they had that many.
I mean, I know Masterson has 2, 3 of those, 4 of them maybe, but where else are they getting it from?
Somewhere. Ball low to Connor Gillespie. It's going to be a fun series. I think hopefully Indians fans are into it now. We have a decent crowd there.
Yeah, they had about 30,000 there on a Wednesday afternoon game last week.
Well, we're getting there then. Here's the 1-0. Hard hit ball to second. Diving play. Santiago from his knees. Got him at first.
Tigers are flashing some leather this afternoon.
Oh, Santiago diving to his right on the backhand.
Looked like he may have yanked a hamstring too.
Holding a hammy right now. Another great play.
One step and a dive, and then he has a difficult time of getting up or getting a handle on that ball. He threw off one knee to get the out. A nice call there by Marvin Hudson, first base umpire.
Here comes Kevin Rand to take a look at him. You see the bang-bang play at first, clearly out.
And Tigers already playing a little bit banged up with Miguel. Not quite ready to play. Hamstrings have been the injury of choice this summer.
Ramon trying to stretch it out right now under the watchful eye of Kevin Rand to see if he can stay in this game, but that was a spectacular play. And he says he's good to go, which is music to Jim Leland's ears. Two gone here in the 4th. Santiago is still trying to stretch it out. He's not coming out, though. He'll bring up DAYAN VICIEDO. So you got that scoop play by Iglesias, the diving play that wasn't an out but still a great play, and then this one by Santiago. That's 3 really good ones already in this game. But you've always talked about this, Rod. When you've got a guy in the mound that throws a lot of ground balls, your infielders seem to be ready a little bit more.
No doubt about that. All 3, whether it be Santiago, Peralta, and also Iglesias, all of them on the balls of their feet, looking for the ball to be hit to them. Porcello averages 2 ground balls for every fly ball since coming to the major leagues back in 2009.
.50 total now for Rick. Viciedo 0 for 1 with a ground ball to third, and that was the nifty play we talked about from Iglesias charging.
They have been able to slow him down a little bit in this series so far, because in the first couple of series of the year, Viciedo was having his way against Tigers pitching. Lots of homers, lots of ribbies.
Yeah, and because of that, he came in batting .387 against the Tigers with 4 long balls. But in this series now 1 for 6. 2-2 the count. Little chopper back up the middle. Peralta ranging left. The inning is over. They get a run on the home run by Dunn, but again the Tigers with another spectacular play. Santiago throwing out Gillespie.
Of a sluggish start. He gave up 3 singles in the first inning. He also walked 1. But after a visit by the pitching coach, Jeff Jones, he was able to get the youngster Gillespie to pop up in the infield. Got out of that jam, but he gave a big home run in the 4th inning. That was to Adam Dunn. That ball Johnny Peralta hit yesterday, they measured it at 444 to straightaway center field. So if Johnny went 444, how far did Adam Dunn go?
I don't know.
In the 4th inning.
Farther. That's all I know. Farther. It was our Comerica Bank game summary to get you caught up on the proceedings here. Here's Prince lining one to left field, but it's going to go straight to Viciedo. 1 out here in the 4th inning.
So far, Rienzo is kind of holding his own against the best offense in all of baseball. The Tigers with only 2 hits against the youngster from Brazil.
You said 440 on Johnny's?
444 on Johnny.
Well, got to be 460
at least.
Maybe more. Here's Victor Martinez. Holding his own indeed. Rienzo now has retired 7 consecutive Tigers. And Victor had a single back in the 2nd. Well, if you look at Rienzo's numbers in his last 4 starts, actually his last 5, 4 of those coming at AAA, his ERA is under 1. So he was pitching well at the end of his AAA stint and has really just kind of slid right into the big leagues. Good outing against Cleveland, and now so far has kept the Tigers off the board. We do know one thing: he works at a pretty good pace. Gets it, throws it. Victor's going to make him slow down. Here's the 1-2. toward left field. It's going to be a long run for Viciedo. Can he get there? He cannot, but it's foul. One and two on Martinez. Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 on the long home run by Adam Dunn. Bounces in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We mentioned that Rienzo hails from Brazil, and he is the first Brazilian-born player to pitch in the big leagues. Of course, that is big soccer country, big soccer part of the world, Brazil. Home of some of the greatest soccer players. Pele, of course, Ronaldo. Swing and a miss. Rienzo trying to do his best to get them to appreciate baseball in Brazil. 2 outs. And the second strikeout for the right-hander. Kids having a good time here at the ballpark today. So is Paws. He's just kind of chilling.
It's their day. Every Sunday, Kids Day here at Comerica Park.
Do you think Paws paid for that seat?
I don't think so. Paws has got some pull.
Yeah.
Something that we have none of.
Ball 1 to Peralta.
At least I have none.
So what you're saying is we're below the mascot of the pecking order.
You got it.
2-0. It's pretty discouraging. Johnny had a single. Hit his first at bat. And he pulls this one on the ground to short. Ramirez. And so Rienzo now has another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 9 straight.
The glove, look how fast the glove is. He's got really quick feet at third base, but he also has a fast glove. Take a look at the reaction time on this bad hop, this tricky hop on this double play ball. Gets that glove up there, gets it on its way to Santiago. Santiago very little time turning it over. This guy looks like he's going to be awfully fun to watch with that glove wherever he's playing.
Pretty impressive. Gordon Beckham will lead things off now as we go to the 5th inning. Rick Porcello has given up 1 run, the home run to Adam Dunn. That came in the last inning. Drill toward left center field. Let's see if it stays up long enough. It will not. It'll bounce over the wall for a ground rule double for Gordon Beckham. Leadoff man on here in the 5th inning.
And Rick Porcello, 10 of 17 in first pitch strikes. So therefore, if you're the White Sox, you know you're going to get a fastball on the first pitch. Beckham got that fastball, didn't miss it. His 12th two-bagger of the year.
Tyler Flowers struck out back in the second. Sends a ground ball to third. Iglesias checking the runner.
Not a productive out there by Tyler Flowers. Runner on second base, nobody out, and he swung in a sinker ball inside and hit it right to the third baseman. He did exactly as Porcello wanted him to do. In that particular situation, you have to fight to try to hit something the opposite way to move BECKHAM along, especially when your team is in a 9-game skid.
Here is Alejandro De Aza.
Porcello has gotten De Aza out a couple of times today, both on breaking pitches. One to the second baseman, the other one to the right fielder.
One ball, no strikes. De Aza, ground ball, fly ball. 2 for 10 in the series. 339 this year with men in scoring position for De Aza. As the White Sox try and add to their 1-0 lead. Pulled on the ground at first. That is a foul ball. Diving attempt there by Prince. Just outside of the bag. That would have scored a run. One ball, one strike. Two and one on De Aza. White Sox have not lost 10 straight games since 1976. And if they lose today, it'll be their 10th consecutive loss. 1976. That year, the White Sox won just 64 games. Now Rick ready with the 2-1. Back out of play, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramirez with a couple of hits, lurking. 1 run, 6 hits today for the White Sox. Tigers, no runs, 2 hits. Neither team with an error in this one. You don't come into any homestand really of this length and think that you have a chance to sweep it, but the Tigers have that opportunity here today. Here's the 2-2. Grounded foul. Swing and a miss struck him out, and De Aza upset with himself. He left the strike zone. 2 gone.
It's a nice job there by Porcello and also by Avila, knowing that the first couple of times up today they've gotten him out with off-speed pitches. This time they went upstairs with a 93-mile-per-hour heater that De Aza couldn't lay off of.
And so that leadoff double is still standing at second now with 2 outs. Ramirez. Two singles in this game, both the infield singles for Ramirez. One in the first, one in the third. Did not score either time. Rick wants his catcher to come out now. He and Avila will chat about it. White Sox have their first lead in a game since Wednesday against Cleveland in the 9th inning. It's been a while since their offense has put them in a decent position. And he looks at ball 1. But it's the Tigers today that have managed only 2 hits against Andre Rienzo. Two and 0. Rios on deck. Tigers gearing up for a long road trip. They will go through Cleveland, then New York, and then they'll take on these White Sox again at U.S. Cellular.
It's about the 3rd or 4th trip the Tigers have had, about 8-9 games long.
Here's one deep and short. Peralta's off balance throw. Got it. Hitting over, and they strand a leadoff double. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Robin Ventura, and then this ensued. It leads us to our Aflac trivia question. Boy, Ryan got the best of that. I'm sorry, the AT&T trivia question. I beg your pardon. On this day in 1993, who was the White Sox manager that year?
Ventura got a couple knuckle sandwiches there.
A couple. He had a whole picnic. Who was the manager that year for the White Sox? That's what we'd like to know. Of course, Mr. Ventura is the manager these days for the White Sox. 20th anniversary of that happening. I'm sure Robin gets reminded of that often. There's a bouncing ball towards second base. And Alex Vila is an out, one gone. So 10 straight retired by the right-hander Rienzo. Here is Iglesias. Iglesias struck out back in the 2nd. Tigers have managed only 2 hits in this game, both singles. Martinez, Peralta, both in the 2nd. There's a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Make it 1-1. Bouncer right back to the mound. Rienzo, nice play. Nice reaction play. 2 gone. Yes, don't forget to start your weekend early and see the Tigers face the Royals on Friday, August 16th at 1:08. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. or visit Tigers.com. Tigers and the Royals. Well, Rienzo has kept the Tigers off the board. He has managed to give up just 2 hits, yet he is only 5 of 17 on first pitch strikes, and now 5 of 18.
Tigers don't have a lot of data on Rienzo. Therefore, just a little bit of video they were able to watch on him from his 1 start against Cleveland. But until you get out there and you see a guy 60 feet, 6 inches, and mound to the plate, you don't really know what kind of action he has on anything that he features.
That's what Leland said before the game today. You're always concerned about a guy that you have not physically faced. Watch all the video you want. And certainly these days there's video from minor league starts, major league starts.
Usually second time through, the opposing hitters are able to figure him out a little bit, and 1 or 2 guys can get some good swings against him. But second time through against Rienzo, Tigers still not having good plate appearances against him.
There's a backhanded play by Dunn, and Rienzo covers. He's got himself another 1-2-3 inning. That's 12 in a row retired by Rienzo. The money taste of Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price period. Bell Tire. Beautiful day here in downtown Detroit. It's 1-0 in favor of Chicago as we travel now to the top of the 6th. Another packed house here at the ballpark. That is nothing new. And it'll be Alex Rios leading it off against the right-hander Rick Porcello. Rios, then Dunn, and then Konerko. Tigers came into this game averaging 37,636 in home attendance per game this year.
Hit 43,000 here last night, didn't it?
Yeah, in fact, it was the largest crowd since opening day. Grounded foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Typically, when you come to the ballpark, you see a lot of folks that are standing. Same story today. Here's the 0-2. And he got him, strike 3. 1 gone. Time for a game break now. Let's check in with Mickey York. Thank you, Mickey. Here it is 1-0 as well as we play in the 6th inning. Adam Dunn is responsible for the 1 that is on the board for Chicago.
Should got credit for 2 as far as he hit that ball.
Way back to dead center field. It was a homer that led off the 4th. 26th of the year for Dunn.
And when he hit it, he knew it was gone. He hit this ball to straightaway center field, and he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
Oh, 102.8 miles per hour off his bat.
That's pretty good speed coming off of the bat.
Floats a ground ball into left field out of the reach of Johnny Peralta, who had him swung around toward the bag.
Have a day, Adam Dunn.
One on, one out. Bring up Konerko. A 3-for-3 day for Dunn so far. Porcello had loaded the bases in the first, but no damage there. Got a double play ball in the third. Leadoff double in the fifth, but they didn't score. So the White Sox have had a lot of pretty good chances here today. Missed it inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Konerko. Right back in there comes Porcello. Missed again. 2-1 the count. 6-time All-Star Paul Konerko. He's had 6 separate seasons in his career in which he's hit at least 20 home runs. Of course, the majority of his damage has come in a White Sox uniform. World title in 2005. Fly ball. Right center field. Jackson on his horse. Still going to the gap to run it down. All the way to the warning track. 2 outs and the runner retreats.
And Jackson was one of the major differences in last night's game from a defensive standpoint. He ran down 3 balls. He went to left center field, back to right center field, and then he went back to left center field again to take a double away. So Jackson, boy, was he busy in last night's game, running very well, very fluid in the outfield after spending a little bit of time on the disabled list with that hamstring injury.
Here's Gillespie. Always wonder about those hamstring injuries, because even when you come back and you are deemed healthy, there's probably got to be a little bit part of you that thinks, am I 100%?
I think they erred on the side of caution with Jackson, though, because he probably was able to come back about a week ahead of when they actually let him come back. Therefore, there has been no disturbances as far as that hamstring is concerned up until this point.
That's skied in the air to right. Kelly cruising over. Jackson as well, and Downey will make the catch. Inning is over. No runs, a hit, 1 left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Back here at the ballpark, we're on our way to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. They're down by a run. And Andre Rienzo has retired 12 in a row.
Well, third time through the lineup. Let's hope that maybe somebody has picked up something which would allow them to have some success against Rienzo.
That's off his bare hand. Ramirez throws. Got him at first base.
That's going to hurt.
They're going to have to come out and check Rienzo, I would think. Right off his bare hand, a line drive.
That was a base hit that was headed right back up the middle. And Rienzo did the one thing that they tell you not to do, but most pitchers will stick their hand out anyway. And because he did deflect the ball to Ramirez, who was heads up, they were able to get Austin Jackson.
I know they tell you not to do it. I know they teach you not to do it, but your instincts take over, don't they?
Yes, they do. That's why you see so many pitchers that reach for it, and many times the ball does get deflected by the bare hand.
Clear shot there of the ball beating Jackson to the bag. 13 straight retired by Rienzo. We'll see if he continues. I would assume he would. He's all right. .163 on that putout. Hey, by the way, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to, Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Andy Dirks looks at a strike.
Tigers just need to get Rienzo back in the stretch. They haven't had him in the stretch since the second inning.
Drilled to center field right at DeAza. 2 up, 2 down.
And that was when Johnny Peralta got a base hit.
And Tigers had 2 on in that frame. They got runners to second and third with 1 out, but that was it. Here's Don Kelly. Pop-up flyout for DK, playing at right field for Torrey Hunter today. Hunter getting the afternoon off. Here's a ball outside, 1-0.
I would assume with the fact that Miggy was out taking some extra batting practice today, he might be available as a pinch hitter this afternoon should the Tigers need him late in this game.
That's a good point. Didn't think about that. He's out there taking ground balls and taking batting practice. 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Isn't that like the ultimate pinch hitter, Miguel Cabrera?
Oh my goodness. Then again, if you're the opposing team, you'd simply walk him unless the bases were loaded.
Back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Two-out single, and that snaps the string of 14 straight retirements.
That's a well-located fastball at 89 miles an hour that is down and away, and Rienzo reached up to try to grab that one with his bare hand, too.
Okay, now Prince hits a home run, and you're up 2-1, just like that.
Oh, he has that kind of capability to do that.
Ball 1. Fielder is 0 for 2.
And really, Rienzo's gotten it done with 2 pitches. Fastball, curveball. Not many changeups. Number 7 prospect in the White Sox organization when this season began.
He actually threw a no-hitter in the minor leagues, a 7-inning no-hitter in the minor leagues. It was on July the 25th, part of that big July that he had that we spoke of. He really pitched well, a 1.23 ERA in July at AAA. Fouled back out of play, 2-1 as Prince took a rip. Fielder, ground ball, fly ball. Wave and a miss, 2-2.
Good curveball there. Really good curveball.
Rienzo is 25 years old. Being tumbled off the table.
It's that 12-6 breaking ball. Back in the day, they used to call it a drop ball.
By that. Isn't that also a yellow hammer?
Could be. Got all kinds of names for that curveball, knee buckler.
The 2-2 swing and a miss, struck him out. Fielder goes down on strikes. It's off for the Tigers. Out of the 7th to go. Park, a run on 7 hits for the visitors. Tigers have managed only 3 hits, and here's what's coming up. How about this road trip coming up, Rod? It'll be a 10-gamer, and it's going to start off with what should be a fun 4-game series.
No doubt. When we go to Cleveland, those games are always very entertaining. We'll go to New York. We're going to make 2 trips to New York in the month of August, and then back to the Windy City again.
So it'll be a challenge for the Detroiters. They would like to head on the road with a sweep at their homestand. And Porcello goes back to the mound now as we go to the 7th. First pitch is ball 1 to the right-handed batting DAYAN VICIEDO, followed by BECKHAM and then Flowers, the bottom 3 in the Chicago lineup. Now the 1-0. Sliced to the second baseman and caught by Santiago. Fans, MLB.com at bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. It's available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826. There's a strike called. Gordon Beckham had himself a double to lead things off in the 5th. Stranded him, though. He pops this one up. First base side. Prince coming toward the dugout. Can't quite get there.
What does Xfinity have for us this afternoon on the velocity of the fastball for Rick Porcello? 92 today. Porcello last 4 or 5 outings, he's been up to at least 95 on a couple of different pitches during the course of those outings, but not today.
Max Scherzer.
He got up to 95 last night.
Boy, that he did. 16-1.
Boy, is he making it look easy.
The 0-2 is a check swing, but he went. Tim McClellan called him out. Beckham is gone.
Max got some sweet glasses on today, too. I guess you can wear glasses like that when you got 16 wins and you've only lost 1.
Very flashy. First pitcher to start a season 16-1 since Clemens did it back in 01. There's that one stat at the bottom, at least 5 strikeouts in all 22 starts this year.
Of all his numbers this year, and the base on balls number probably the most impressive for me. Tons of strikeouts, closing in on 170 in 32 base on balls.
Tyler Flowers, the batter. The other thing about Max is that his ERA is down at 2.85 now.
I dropped down almost a couple percentage points last night.
Yeah.
Went in over 3 last night.
He was over 3, and what was it, 7 2/3 scoreless, right?
Yep.
So Scherzer now is down at 2.85 and dropping.
Clearly the leader in the clubhouse as far as the Cy Young Award in the American League this year. Has to be.
Here's the 2-1. Driven to left field. And Dirks comes over to make the play. 1-2-3 inning for Rick. Got to get the bats going. Here comes the bottom of the 7th. Of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, the official window company of Fox Sports Detroit.
Today's whip of the game is brought to you by Head & Shoulders, and Andre Rienzo, making his second major league start, has really been able to handcuff the best offense in all of baseball. Only 3 strikeouts by Rienzo. That last one, a real good breaking ball to Prince Fielder, and Rienzo kind of liking that, but he's been dealing today. Tigers have not been able to figure him out.
Would you believe it if I told you that Rienzo, as you look at his numbers here, is only 6 of 22 on first pitch strikes?
Yeah, I would believe that, because I heard you say that just a half inning ago or so, where his numbers weren't very good, but still able to make a pitch when he needs to make that particular pitch. He hadn't pitched at much stress today.
No, not at all. In fact, when you look at the Tigers' opportunities in this game, their best chance came in the second with leadoff singles. But that was about it. And so Rienzo is getting ready to go to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning in front of 42,000 plus at the ballpark today. Tigers have been limited to just 3 hits. Martinez and Peralta singles. Jordan Danks, by the way, is the new center fielder. Danks for De Aza. came into last night's ball game as well. The only other Tiger hit was the Don Kelly single in the 6th. Victor leads it off as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Martinez, Peralta, Avila. And a ball low. It looks like DAYAN actually is still in the game. He has moved to left field, so it's VICIEDO that's out of the game. There you go. DAYAN is at left, so they tighten up the defense by getting VICIEDO out and Danks into center. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Victor a single and a strikeout. Now 1 for 9 in this series. As once again Rienzo falls behind in the count. Here's the 2-0. Way outside. 3 balls, no strikes. And that is just the 3rd 3-ball count for Rienzo, despite the fact that he's been so poor in the first pitch strike category. Now we'll see what he comes back with here on 3-0. And he missed with it. Down low, ball 4, leadoff man on. It's his 2nd walk today. Hey, get ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, and shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. America's new sports network is Fox Sports 1, coming August 17th. Here's Johnny Peralta. Ball 1. Way high, and so Rienzo has yet to throw a strike in this inning.
He might be losing it a little bit out there. Don Cooper, pitching coach, has gotten on the steps, and he's probably one more ball away from making a visit out to Rienzo.
They're not going to wait any longer to get in touch with the bullpen, it looks like.
Mark Parent.
There's a strike. Tigers have gotten the leadoff man on just twice in this game. Both times it was Victor. Foul back.
We talked about Johnny's home run last night that went 444 feet away from home plate. He crushed it. Then he slapped himself upside the head.
Apparently that's the key to hitting 440-foot home runs. 1-2. Drilled foul down the left field line. Well, we mentioned the Tigers on this homestand have been pretty good offensively. 297 as a team, but they have been held to just 3 hits. You see Nate Jones beginning to loosen in the Chicago pen.
If you're Victor Martinez, you have to anticipate that this next pitch is going to be a breaking ball that bounces. And when he does throw that breaking ball, you have to try to get down in the scoring position.
Look at what the Tigers 6 through 9 have done on the homestand. 354, 448 with men in scoring position. 3-2.
If you're Jim here, you almost have to start Victor. It's the 7th inning. You really haven't gotten anything going all day long. It's a 3-2 count. And you have to trust Johnny Peralta to put the ball in play.
There he goes. Ball high. Back-to-back walks here in the 7th. Third walk of the game now for Rienzo. Don Cooper making his way out. Coming into this inning, Rienzo had retired 15 of the previous 16 Tigers he had faced. But he's had trouble finding the strike zone here in the 7th. Rienzo is fluent in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. I'm assuming that Cooper is speaking English. We'll see how Rienzo now reacts here. Alex Avila coming up there. We'll see how they play him defensively. Bunting situation for Avila.
Avila has 1 sack bunt this year, and for those of you wondering about that.
Gillespie is in at third. No sign of bunt, and he'll look at ball 1. Rienzo continues to struggle with the strike zone. And it's ball 2.
Well, if you're Avila here, you pretty much know what you're going to get. You're going to get a fastball, and if Rienzo is fortunate enough, he'll throw it right down the middle. And if that's the case, you don't have to take it, even though he's already walked a couple of batters in this inning. If you get your pitch, look to drive something in the gap.
13 pitches in this inning for Rienzo, 10 balls, and only 3 strikes. The 2-0. He's going to swing. Drive it high in the air to right field. Rios going back, still going, can't get it. Martinez coming around third. They're going to send him home. Here's a throw to the plate, and he is safe at home plate.
My goodness, he barely made it.
On a ball hit to the gap in right center, Martinez held up and just scored. I mean, just scored. Double and an RBI.
Nice job by Avila. Really, as I pointed out to you, no need to take this 2-0 cookie fastball right down the middle. But look at Martinez. He thought Rios was going to catch that ball. Therefore, Peralta rounded second. He wanted to go to third and possibly score himself. But Victor got such a late break, they nearly threw him out at home plate.
Well, that could have turned out badly.
You think?
But Victor just had enough steam to get in ahead of the tag. Game tied as Martinez slides in safely and Rienzo is taken out of the ball game. Pitching change. Chicago will go to the pen. The first 3 Tigers reach. It is a wall-side windows pitching change, and we'll be back. The 7th inning, but a couple of walks to lead off the frame. A double by Avila. The Tigers get a run to tie this ball game up. And Rienzo is out of the game. Alex Avila, since July the 1st, is now hitting .500 with men in scoring position. He had 19 RBIs in July alone. And he has tied this game in 1 as Nate Jones takes over.
Jones has a big arm. Fastball will get all the way up to 99 miles an hour. He also features a curveball, a slider, and a changeup.
Infield in against Iglesias. 1 run, 4 hits Detroit. 1 run, 7 hits Chicago. Tigers trying to take their first lead of the game. They have runners at second and third. And the infield in. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle. And Ramirez will check the runner. Iglesias unable to get it done. 1 gone. It'll bring up Santiago. Jones came in with some pretty good numbers against the first batter he faces. Just 105 this year. And he got the first man he faced here, Iglesias. Santiago has put the ball on the ground twice. Infield will remain in for Chicago. Strike 1 called. Jones has saved his best work for the Central Division. 13 2/3 scoreless innings against the Central this year. In the air, shallow center field, and it's going to be caught on the run. Runner will tag, going to try and score him, and he will. Both runners move up. Peralta is in, and the Tigers take the lead. RBI for Santiago, 2-1 ball game.
And Santiago got himself a real good firm fastball from Jones, got underneath it, and Johnny Peralta was able to tag up and came home, even though it was a very strong throw by Jordan Danks, their center fielder.
And Santiago gets his 7th RBI of the year. And now with 2 outs, a runner at third base, Avila moved up as well. Here's Jackson trying to get a run in with 2 outs. They're going to appeal at third. He did not leave early. That is Jordan Baker down there saying that Peralta left on time. Strike 1 on Jackson. Tigers now have the lead. Rondon, Smiley warming up. And Jackson hits it in the air to left, and it's going to end the inning. But it's a good inning for the Tigers. They score a couple of runs, have their first lead of the game.
here today. He's done very well as our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. We said that Porcello in his last 9 starts against the White Sox, he's 7-1 against them with a really good ERA, and the batting average not very high. He's gotten himself several ground balls. He's gotten a few strikeouts on elevated fastballs, good breaking balls. Porcello doing and picking up right where he left off in the month of July.
So the Tigers have their first lead of the game, and Rick Porcello will go back out to the mound in the 8th inning. Here are his numbers. He's only thrown 85. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 7 innings under his belt right now, and he'll face the top of the lineup. Alejandro Dayaza leads it off, then ALEXEI RAMIREZ and Alex Rios. Dayaza looks at ball 1. He is 0 for 3 today. Ground ball, fly ball, strikeout. Now the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 on Dayaza. Ramirez on deck. And then Rios, top 3 in the Chicago lineup here in the top of the 8th. Driven on a line to right field. Kelly backing up. Can't get it over his head. And into the seats, a ground rule double. 8th hit of the game now for Chicago.
For the most part, Porcello's been able to slow down Dayaza today with lots of curveballs. That time he elects to throw him a fastball at 89, and Don Kelly couldn't get back fast enough to make the play. Dayaza hit that ball rather sharply.
That he did. It was a bullet. His first hit of the game. That'll extend his hitting streak. It's a mini one, though, to 4 straight. More importantly, the tying run is on.
And be careful here on the first pitch fastball. Ramirez loves first pitch fastballs that are strikes. He'll even chase a few that are out of the strike zone.
And he bunts third base side. Pretty good one. Porcello quickly gets rid of it. Sacrifice moves the runner up. Porcello had to make a really good play just to get him.
Barehanded, threw off balance. Nice athletic play by Porcello.
So it's the Tigers' turn now to pull the infield in.
Surprised Jim not going to Rondon here in a strikeout situation.
Good call. Rondon would be ready to go. He's been warming up with Smiley out of the bullpen and left.
He elects to bring the infield in with all the ground balls that Porcello throws.
There's the tying run. It is Dayaza who doubled to start the inning. And the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
I remember like it was yesterday back in 2006 when the Tigers would be in these types of situations. Jim would just trot Zamaya out of that bullpen, and Zamaya would come in and breathing fire with those 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. And on many occasions get the strikeout.
On a line to center field. Jackson makes the play. Runner will not tag. Ramirez is going to hold or check it. Dayaza is going to hold at third, and there are 2 gone.
Bad base running there by Dayaza. I'm not so sure he scores anyway, but what you have to do there, you have to make sure that you get back to tag up, and then once the ball's caught, you make the decision whether you think you can score or not. He went halfway like he thought that ball was going to fall. By the time he got back to third, too late.
Well, the Tigers catch a break there. Tying run remains at third base. Now Porcello as he exits. will get a large round of applause from the fans in attendance today. Wallside Windows pitching change. Rick Dunn for the afternoon. Detroit, runner at third, 2 outs. And Porcello was hopeful that Drew Smiley could get the final out here. It'll be Adam Dunn with 2 outs and a runner at third. 2-1 Tigers. We're in the 8th. Smiley has stranded 11 of the 12 inherited runners he has had this year. Dunn's had a big day. 2 singles and a homer. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Numbers on Drew this year. He's got a whip of 0.93. Walks plus hits per innings pitched. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Meanwhile, Dunn has seen Smiley a little bit. 1 for 7 against him. The 1 is a homer. Here's the tying run, DeYan. Checked it. Yes, he went around, says Jordan Baker. 1-2. And the 1-2. Fouled straight back.
If you're Smiley, you don't want to make a mistake with that fastball to Dunn. If you're going to go up, you got to make sure you get it up. A better pitch of choice might be that real good breaking ball, but you have to make sure you get it down and away from him. Not a strike. See if he'll swing at it.
Here's the 1-2 again. Just off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Go right back out there again. Dunn having a difficult time of picking up that pitch, and he almost offered at that one.
Only Carter, Napoli, and Davis have fanned more this year than Dunn.
Yeah, when we saw Carter this year, we kind of predicted he would lead the American League in strikeouts.
Got a piece of that one to stay alive. Two and two on Dunn. Tigers take the lead with 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. RBI double by Avila, sac fly by Santiago. Now the White Sox trying to tie it up. Drew ready with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Smiley comes out of the pen. He fans Dunn. And the threat is over. DAYAN stranded at third base. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers up by a run.
Late in game for the Tigers, and boy, did he do a number on Adam Dunn, who was 3 for 3 in this contest. He climbed the ladder with a fastball, and then he quickly went back outside with several breaking balls, finally getting Adam Dunn to swing through the last one. He changed speeds on that last one, threw it a little bit slower, and he had Dunn folding out in front. Nice job by Drew Smiley.
Nice job indeed. The Tigers hold on to their 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers pitching again, doing an outstanding job. Porcello and Smiley, and now we'll see if they can get some breathing room here as Andy Dirks leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Just facing a new pitcher, that would be David Percy.
10th game now that Percy's been in. Numbers are not bad. 225 earned run average. He has walked more than he has struck out. He's got a good arm. Fastball will get up to 94, 95.
Just a soft line drive to left, base hit. Leadoff man on as we check out our AT&T trivia question here again this afternoon. We told you it's the 20th anniversary of Robin Ventura charging the mound against Nolan Ryan. Want to know who was the manager for the White Sox on that day? Gene Lamont was the skipper. And Gino was in the middle of the fray as well.
But Rodriguez was the catcher that day as well, former Tiger.
And Gino now the right-hand man for Jim Leland. Here's a bunt. This will get the job done. Percy's throw is in time. Kelly moves him up. Sacrifice. Now Prince fielder.
Runners in scoring position. Prince loves to swing at the very first pitch. And whether it be a breaking ball or a fastball, he is very aggressive in these situations.
Tigers are without Joaquin Benoit today. And Jim Leland said before the game that he would play his closer based on the matchups. And right now, Jose Veras warming up.
Benoit threw 33 pitches combined on Friday and Saturday. And one of the things that Jim wants to stay away from regarding Joaquin is pitching him 3 days in a row.
Prince bends away from a ball inside 1-0.
You really have to applaud Jim the way that he's been able to keep Joaquin healthy in his 3 years that he has spent in a Tigers uniform. Because before that, by and large, Joaquin had several injuries while pitching for the Texas Rangers. 1 year, he was healthy in Tampa.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. It's the reputation that Leland has had, a reputation that he really handles the bullpen well, has a good sense for when guys need some time off. As you look at the numbers on Benoit.
Joaquin also very honest with Jim. He will tell him when he does need a day off, and there are some pitchers that won't tell their managers that.
Broke his bat into shallow center, might be trouble. It will be caught on a slide by Beckham.
He was the only one that was going to catch that ball because Danks in center field was fooled on the swing off the bat of Prince Fielder and broke back initially. So he was not going to recover enough to make that grab. Beckham is a shortstop by trade. He played shortstop in college, but he's very good at second base. Really good hands, real good range.
How many really good plays have we seen today on both ends, really? Beckham going a long way back to the infield to pull that one in. So we'll see if Martinez can get the run in with 2 outs. Victor's been right in the middle of the Tigers' offense today. They hadn't had a whole lot, only 5 hits. Martinez a single, a walk, and a run scored. One and 0 on Victor. 9th inning will feature Konerko, Gillespie, and Danks. Up with the right hand goes Tim McClelland. 1 ball and 1 strike. Percy, a former Tiger, pitched briefly with Detroit back in the 2011 season. Also time with Oakland and Toronto. Here's the 1-1. Way high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tigers have been really good at home this year, 36-19. 10 games over the 500 mark against the Central Division. Three and 1. Should Martinez reach, Peralta would be next. And he lost him, ball 4. 3rd time that Martinez has been on today. Peralta due up. That's going to be it for the lefty. And Percy will be lifted from this game. Tight one here at the ballpark today. The Tigers on top 2-1 as we check out our game summary. Adam Dunn has had a big day, including a big home run. Avila has doubled one in, and Rick Porcello was awfully good here this afternoon. Trying to get him a victory. The Tigers trying to get an insurance run here in the 8th. Johnny Peralta stands in with 2 men on, and he waves and misses 0-1.
Addison Reed is their closer. He has 26 saves this year. He blew his 5th save of the year. That was on Wednesday afternoon in Cleveland. That Cleveland Indians team on fire. I believe Cleveland won every game on that homestand when they were home.
Ball outside, 1-1.
Reed's got a lot of control. He went 71 consecutive batters earlier this year without issuing a walk. As a matter of fact, on July 25th, the guy that he walked to end the streak was Johnny Peralta. 71 batters in a row.
Now the 1-1. 1-2. Peralta in this situation trying to drive in a run here. The Tigers up 2-1. Single, walk, run scored for Johnny. A 9-hit homestand for Peralta. Two balls, 2 strikes. It really is amazing how well the Tigers starting staff now has gotten back into that groove that they were displaying early in the season. One after another, they are simply taking a cue from the guy the night before. Today, Porcello. Ground ball left side. Ramirez will go to second for the force. And that'll do it for Detroit. So we're going to go to the 9th inning, and the Tigers holding on to a 1-run lead. Chicago as we go to the top of the 9th inning. 3 more outs to get it. The Tigers sweep this homestand. Two runs on 5 hits Detroit. 1 run, 8 hits for Chicago. Drew Smiley's still out there. He got the strikeout of the 8th inning of Dunn to close out that frame. And Konerko looks at a strike called 0-1. Jeff Keppinger has moved to the on-deck circle. Konerko is 4 for 6 against Drew Smiley. And he sends a high fly ball in the air to left center field. That ball is hit well. That ball is deep, and that ball is gone. And we are tied up. The Sox, on a solo homer by Konerko, have made it a 2-2 game. And a stunned silence comes over the sellout crowd here at the ballpark. Eighth of the year for Konerko, and now Jim Leland will come out to get Drew Smyly. They had Veras warming up, the right-hander, to face the righty Konerko, but Jim decided to stay with the lefty Smyly. And Drew will give up the baseball now. It's a 2-2 game. Pitching change. We'll be back. Deep to lead things off here in the top of the ninth inning off Drew Smyly.
He got himself a four-seam fastball, and he threw it right to the glove. Konerko was waiting for it, and going deep against Tigers pitching, nothing new for Paul Konerko. That is his 45th home run in his career against Tigers pitching.
Eighth of the season for Konerko, who had not homered since June the 20th.
And you got to go all the way back to May 22nd, the last time Drew Smyly has given up a home run in a game.
This one a big one for Chicago. 2-2 game. Keppinger will send a ground ball left side. Iglesias has it there. He's a quick out, one away.
No doubt Jim will have to answer, I should say, the question as to why he started Smyly in the top half of the ninth inning against Konerko, who had good numbers against him career.
Had really good numbers, and he has added to those numbers. Veras was good to go, but the decision was made to let Drew start the inning, and now we're tied at 2.
And the 45 career homers Konerko has hit against Tigers pitching, the most of any player. Active player, that is.
Here's Jordan Danks, his first at bat of the game. And Veras starts him off with a strike. Off speed there, 0-1. Danks hitting just 167. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2 the count. Jordan Danks came into this one just 4 for his previous 26. They called him up on Wednesday from Charlotte. This is his 3rd stint with the big club. Now the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runs on 9 hits for Chicago, 2 runs on 5 hits for Detroit. Neither team with an error in this game. And now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Stanks is out of there. Veras has come in and retired 2 batters. Well, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues. Tigers Live coming up. You'll hear from manager Jim Leyland, the players, and we'll break down the game, show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after this one is done here at the ballpark. And it's on Fox Sports Detroit, so tune in. Here is Gordon Beckham with 2 outs. Ball 1 to Beckham. Fly ball in the air, left field, hit pretty deep. Dirks was playing deeply, though, comes in to make the play. And that'll do it. Damage done, though. Konerko's homer has tied it up. A value pack, 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, all for just $60. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Well, let's see what's happening tomorrow. The probables, courtesy of Gordon Chevrolet, and the first game of that series against the Indians coming up. Sanchez and Kluber in that game.
Kluber pitching some pretty good baseball, 7-5 with a sub-4 earned run average, only 25 base on balls, and he's punched out 110. And Sanchez, well, you already know about him. He is awfully fun to watch every 5th day.
So it'll be Avila to lead things off here in the bottom of the 9th, all tied at 2. The Konerko home run in the top of the 9th inning, knotting this one up. Ball 1 outside to Avila.
Addison Reed able to strand a couple of base runners last half inning, left out there by David Percy. That is the first time this year Reed entered a game where there's runners on base.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Which kind of gives you an idea of the desperation of Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox, to end the 9-game losing streak by his squad.
We gave that stat a little bit earlier. It had been quite a while since the White Sox had lost 10 straight games. 1976, the last time they had lost 10 in a row. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 on Alex Avila. Addison Reed goes 6'4", 220 out of Montclair, California.
Avila has the green light here if he wants to swing.
Now the 3-0. 3-1 on Avila. Reed was a third-round pick just a couple of years ago, 2010, for the White Sox. Saved 29 games last year. 3-1 pitch. And a strike called. Avila was about to discard the bat. Tim McClellan said no. 3-2. Pretty good pitch.
Nice frame job as well by the catcher, Tyler Flowers.
Fouled back out of play. Avila had a flair for the dramatic against Strasburg and the Nationals with a grand slam here earlier in the week. More action in the bullpen. Donnie Veal warming up for Chicago. Fouled back out of play.
Here's that grand slam that Avila hit off Steven Strasburg when the Nationals were in town.
It was a 1-1 ball game at that time. They did 5-1. The Tigers would go on to win it. Again, the 3-2. And again, he stays alive by fouling it off. Another great crowd here today. In fact, over 42,000 people. This is the largest three-game series total for the Tigers this year, over 127,000. They showed up in big numbers for this weekend series. And he walked in ball four. Avila coaxes a walk.
I told you last half inning that Addison Reed went 71 consecutive batters without issuing a base on balls. Walked Johnny Peralta on July 25th, and he leads off the ninth inning walking Avila.
And that was close.
No sack bunts for Iglesias in 221 at-bats playing for the Boston Red Sox this year. Clearly a bunting situation here.
In tight at third base, Keppinger. Tigers have been out hit by 4, 9-5. We are tied at 2, though. The winning run standing at first base with nobody out. No sign of bunt. Runner goes. Bouncing ball to second. Only one play. Beckham throws him out. So advance the winning run to second base.
Job done. Jim elected not to bunt. Put the hit and run on, and Iglesias did his job.
Hey, Sunday, August 18th, the Tigers battle the Royals at 108. Celebrate Italian Heritage Day with a special ticket package, which includes an Italian Who's Your Tiger t-shirt. Visit tigers.com/Italian to order. All right, Tigers have the winning run now at second base. Here's Santiago trying to deliver. Ramon had his sac fly back in the 7th inning. And Ramon lines one foul down the right field line. He got out ahead that time and whistled. 0-1. Reed came on in the 8th, got a ground out to end the inning. Tigers had a couple of runners on, trying to extend their lead. They couldn't do it, and then Konerko homered to tie it. There's a bouncing ball right side, straight at BECKHAM. 2 gone, and the winning run goes to third. And here is Jackson. One for 5 against Addison Reed. Crowd coming to its feet now. 2-2 game, bottom of the 9th. Jackson fouls it back. He had a rip, 0-1. AJ today is 0 for 4. He flied out his last time up. He's in the hole 0-2. Tigers only 2 runs in this game, coming in the 7th inning. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Austin Jackson. Tigers got a leadoff walk. Avila now standing at third with 2 outs. And the 1-2. Blocked by Flowers. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job there by Flowers, anticipating that the breaking ball would bounce. And it just simply slides over on both knees and blocks it. Beautiful.
Jackson hits it in the air to right field. Straight at Rios, and the inning is over. So they threaten but do not score. Extra innings today in the Motor City. Beef jerky, feed your wild side. Well, we're tied up at 2, and we've got extra innings here at the ballpark today. 2 runs, 9 hits, Chicago. The Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits. And for the White Sox, it'll be the number 9 hitter, Tyler Flowers, to start things off. Konerko's home run in the 9th inning tied it up. Jose Veras goes out there for his 2nd inning of work. He got the final 3 outs in the 9th after the homer. Breaking ball bends outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
And that breaking ball that Veras features might be his best pitch. He has a fastball that will get to 93 miles an hour, and with some tailing action on that pitch. And he also throws a splitter. Doesn't throw that very often, though.
That's outside. 2-0 the count.
19 saves for the Houston Astros this year.
Tigers gave up an outfield prospect as you look at Rondon and Coke warming up. Veras coming over from the Astros in exchange for Danry Vasquez and a player to be named later. Drilled down the left field line, hooking foul. 2-1 the count on Flowers.
And Veras did exactly as Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of the Houston Astros, was hoping that he would do when he signed him in the offseason. Provide some leadership for the young pitchers, which he did, and pitch well enough so they could trade him at the trade deadline and get a prospect for him.
Here's the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Houston Astros also signed Carlos Pena to do the same thing, but Pena didn't perform very well, and he was released by the Houston Astros.
19 saves in 42 relief appearances. But it was his work in his last 21 appearances that really caught the eye of the Tigers. A 0.85 ERA in that stretch. Here's the 2-2. Bender that had him frozen, but it missed inside. 3-2.
He likes that curveball so much, and he has a lot of confidence in it. He might come right back with it on the 3-2 pitch.
Here it comes, but he missed with it. Ball 4. Leadoff man on for Chicago. Before today, the Tigers had not blown a save since June 12th in Kansas City when Valverde blew one. In 10 innings, they lost 3-2.
If you're DeAza up there and you're bunting in this situation, the one thing that he wants to make sure that he does, he wants to keep the ball away from the third baseman, Iglesias. Iglesias with really quick feet. He can get that ball to second and get the force out with Flowers running from first.
DeAza had a double in the 8th but did not score. In fact, he led off the 8th with a double. He lets it go by. Showing bunt. 1 ball, no strikes. Trying to get that go-ahead run to second base. Joe McEwing running through the signs down there at third. Here's the 1-0. 2-0. Flowers a leadoff walk here in the 10th. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's bunted toward first. They're going to let it roll foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. Veras' big league career began with the Yankees back in 2006. Cleveland, Florida, Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee, his other stops. First time really this year with Houston, though, he had an opportunity to save games and become a closer. Now the 2-1. Bunted back toward the mound. Veras will make the play himself. Sacrifice moves the runner to second. These are the career numbers on Jose Veras. 3.86 lifetime ERA. Now the White Sox with a chance to go ahead. as ALEXEI Ramirez stands in. You've seen Veras a few times, 1 for 5 against him. ALEXEI in the ball game had a sacrifice back in the 8th. A couple of hits today. He's trying to drive in this run right now. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Tigers had a 2-1 lead in this game. Smiley struck out Dunn to end the 8th and a threat there, but Drew came out to begin the 9th, and Konerko got him for a home run, and that tied the game. Tigers got the winning run to third in the bottom of the 9th, but couldn't get him in. Here's the 0-1. Good pick up there by Avila, throwing his body at that pitch.
We've seen both catchers selling out in the last inning and blocking breaking balls down. This is a tough one here. When that breaking ball hits the dirt, sometimes you don't know exactly which direction that ball is going to go, but a nice job there by Avila.
Breaking ball had him buckled, and it's a strike, 1-2.
He did that to ALEXEI earlier in this series when Veras went up against him. He threw him back-to-back breaking balls, and he buckled the knees of Ramirez on both of the breaking balls. As a matter of fact, Ramirez was getting out of the way. He thought one of them was going to hit him.
That was last night. He got Veras, or he got Ramirez rather, to fly out in the 8th inning, ending that frame. Here's the 1-2. Little pop up back short and caught on a leap. They're going to get a double play. Flowers was on his way to third, and he's doubled up.
Bad base running there by Tyler Flowers.
And a break for the Tigers. Double play ends the inning.
Have not lost a game, but defensively they've been flashing a lot of leather. The newcomer Iglesias, boy, he's a keeper. Santiago's also made some nice plays. Austin Jackson has run down some balls in center field. Peralta has also made nice plays. Just about every single member of the defensive team has made nice plays in the series. Tigers have committed only 2 errors during the course of this homestand in the winning streak.
That last double play turned out to be a big one. Flowers doubled up. So the Tigers looking to win this one now in the bottom of the 10th. 2 runs, 9 hits, Chicago. 2 runs, 5 hits, Detroit. Donnie Veal is the new pitcher now for Chicago.
And pretty much fastball slider with Donnie Veal. His fastball will get up to 93 miles an hour. He's logged 15 innings this year. He's pitched in 25 games, so he is the definition of a left-handed specialist.
Jim Leyland now going to the bench. Torrey Hunter will pinch hit for Andy Dirks. Home run for Torrey. His only hit in the series. And that came last night in the first inning. Strike one on Torrey Hunter. Tuiasosopo has moved to the on-deck circle as well. Here's the 0-1. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Way outside, 2-1 the count on Torrey. Only 5 Detroit hits in this game. They got a couple of runs in the 7th to go up briefly, 2-1. Grounded foul, third base side.
And Torrey hit that home run last night against John Danks. Second time he's homered against Danks this season. Third time in his career he's homered against Danks. Torrey tweaked that Achilles tendon on that last swing. Hasn't been able to gather himself enough to get back in the batter's box.
Kevin ran Jim Leyland out to take a look at him.
He hasn't moved.
Ooh, down he went. Stay in the game and finish the at-bat. Torrey this year is 0 for 2 in a pinch hitting role. Two and 2 the count. We're in the bottom of the 10th. Three and 2. Veal taking over for Reed. There's Tuiasosopo on deck. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Base hit. Winning run is on. Pinch hit single for Torrey.
It's a fastball that is down and away from Torrey Hunter, and Torrey didn't try to do too much with that pitcher's pitch, just simply hit it right back through the middle for a solid single.
And with Torrey reaching, Don Kelly will bat. Tuiasosopo won't. They'll try and move him up. Get that winning run to second base.
It's already been a very difficult week for the Chicago White Sox. They have got walked off a couple of times in Cleveland earlier this week.
Kelly pops up the bunt. Oh my goodness, didn't need that. Dunn comes in to make the catch. One gone. Now Fritz Fielder will stand in.
In bunting situations, you have to make sure that that ball is down and not up in the zone. And because you don't want to pop it up, they know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Therefore, Veal threw the ball up in the zone. Kelly couldn't get on top of it.
1 on, 1 out. Here's Fielder. Hitless in this game. Fouled off 0-1. For 5 against Donnie Veal. This has not been a good matchup for Prince, despite the fact that he does hit well against lefties. Documented that again last night. And he sends a ground ball to second. This looks like a double play. 4-6-3, inning over. We'll go to the 11th at the ballpark. Beef jerky all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side.
Get to cut up with the game summary. The White Sox took the lead on an Adam Dunn home run to straightaway center field. That came off of the starter, Rick Porcello. And boy, did he hit it a long way, about 450 from home plate. The seventh inning Tigers got themselves on the board. It was a double by Avila, which plated Victor Martinez. Santiago later with a sac fly to drive in two for the Tigers. And then it was Paul Konerko against Smiley. This was the ninth inning, leading off the inning. Solo shot into the Chicago White Sox bullpen, and that's where we sit right now. Score knotted at 2.
And the Tigers have gone back to their bullpen. Bruce Rondon coming out of the pen to pitch for Detroit.
And Rondon's pitched very well lately, pitching in the 16th game now for the Tigers, logged in 14 innings. The earned run average is high, but most of that earned run average came in his early starts, early outings, I should say.
Alex Rios, the first man to face Rondon, who takes the baseball from Veras, who pitched 2 innings in relief for Detroit. Here's the 0-1. High pop-up, shallow right field. Santiago back, Hunter in. Torrey with the catch. Torrey stays in the game to play right. And in the meantime, Kelly moves from right to left.
Even Rondon has that fastball that will get up to 100 miles an hour, back-to-back breaking balls to Alex Rios. And he got him to pop up to right field.
Now Dunn. Big day today, 2 singles, homer. Right back up the middle into center. He took 100 and drilled it to center field. And that's a 4-hit game for Adam Dunn.
Yeah, these guys in the big leagues, they'll hit a bullet if it's straight.
And so that'll bring up Konerko now, who tied this game up back in the 9th. They'll make it an even 10 hits for Chicago in this game. Konerko hit his 8th home run of the season back in the 9th inning. Strike 1 on Konerko. Rondon last pitching on the 28th against the Phillies gave up 1 run in 1 inning. A couple of hits. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Phil Koch now beginning to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. Checked it. They will appeal. Yes, he went around. He tried to hold up, but Marvin Hudson said you went 1-2.
When you're getting ready for a 100-mile-per-hour fastball and you get a slider from Rondon, it's very difficult to lay off of that pitch.
Tigers in this game have gone with Smiley, Veras, and now Rondon. Rick Porcello started this game, pitched extremely well for the Tigers. The only run he gave up, the home run to Adam Dunn in the 4th. Tigers got him a couple of runs in the 7th inning, but the bullpen unable to hold it, so Porcello will get a no decision today. Despite pitching well. 1-2 on Paul Konerko. Swing and a miss. He dusted him at 100 miles an hour. First strikeout of the day for Bruce.
Nice job by Rondon attacking Paul Konerko. And started him off with a fastball followed by a couple good sliders. And then he was able to finish him off with a really good heater.
Here's Keppinger. He pinch hit in the 9th inning, 0 for 1. Ball, no, strike 1 call.
Rondon throwing quite a few sliders in the 9 total pitches he's thrown.
2-2 game. We're in the 11th inning. Here's the 0-1. Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Keppinger. The Tigers in their part of the 11th have Martinez, Peralta, Avila. Get back out of play. Now the count is 1-2. Two outs here in the 11th. And Rondon ready with the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Foul away again. Tigers attempting not only to sweep this series, but the homestand as well. They swept Philadelphia. They swept the short 2-game series against Washington. And now they're trying to sweep the White Sox out of town before the long road trip starts up tomorrow in Cleveland. Another foul back out of play. Another fastball from Rondon. Tigers this year played 12 extra inning games. They are 3-9 in extra inning games. White Sox not a whole lot better. They're 5-11. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Rondon gets it done here in the 11th. 2 strikeouts for Bruce. Let's go to the bottom of the inning. Still tied at 2.
Detroit, they were walked off a couple of times while being swept by the Cleveland Indians Monday and Wednesday. It was Giambi on Monday, then it was Santana, the very talented switch hitter, who got them on Wednesday, and they have suffered 8 walk-off losses this year as a club, which ties them for the most in the majors with the Seattle Mariners.
Well, the Santana walk-off came against Dylan Axelrod, and he has come in now to pitch in the 11th inning.
And the Tigers have seen quite a bit of Axelrod this season. As a matter of fact, he made a start right here at Comerica Park when they made their visit here earlier before the All-Star break.
So it'll be Victor Martinez leading it off. Martinez, Peralta, Avila. Tigers have 2 runs, 6 hits, and the White Sox 2 runs, 10 hits. Miggy not playing today, but he's hanging out in the dugout. Martinez has been on base 3 times, 2 walks and a single. And he looks at ball 1.
Axelrod does not throw very hard. His top fastball about 87, 88 miles an hour. Lots of off-speed pitches thrown by Axelrod.
One ball, 1 strike. White Sox this year played 38 one-run games, which is tied for second most in the majors. And their problem is they haven't won many of those. They are 14-24 in those one-run games. Tigers have had a base runner in the 9th, a base runner in the 10th. In fact, the leadoff man getting on in each of those innings. Now we'll see what Martinez can do here in the 11th. The 2-1. 2-2 on Victor. Down the left field line, slicing back out of play. Martinez, Peralta, and Avila. Here in the 11th. Another foul ball as Martinez stays alive. Tigers drawing 42,513 for the finale here today. I mentioned this is the largest 3-series total attendance all season long for the Tigers. Over 127,000. They would love to go home happy today. Here's the 2-2 again. Outside, 3-2. Peralta waiting on deck. 18 starts this year for Axelrod before being sent to the bullpen. Ground ball to third. Under the glove of Keppinger into left. Martinez takes a wide turn but holds up, and the Tigers again have the leadoff man on.
Robin Ventura on the other side of the diamond had Adam Dunn, the first baseman, hugging the line with the left-handed batting Martinez in the batter's box, but Keppinger on the other side was well off that third baseline. Therefore, Martinez able to hit one right past him. Nice job by Diaz in left field, getting over to that ball to make sure that Martinez stayed with a single. Miggy got his pom-poms out, man.
Help any way you can. Winning run on for the Tigers. Here is Johnny Peralta. Single and a walk in this game for Johnny. Tap foul. 0-1 on Peralta. Tigers now have 7 hits in the game. Johnny at 306. Martinez will draw a throw despite the fact that he was one step off the bag.
And Tigers a little short-handed, really don't have anybody to pinch run for Victor Martinez.
And another toss. Donnie Veal pitched the 10th. Now Axelrod here in the 11th. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff single by Martinez. Modest lead and a pitch out and nothing going on. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good call there by Robin Ventura. One of the things that Jim Leyland has done a lot of since he's been the manager here in Detroit. 1-1 has been a really favorable hit and run count for him. Opposing managers know that. And we've seen several managers this year pitch out in 1-1 counts.
Driven in the air to center field, hit well. Danks going back, still on the run. He makes the catch. Up against the wall in left center, and Martinez has to scamper back.
I don't know if De Aza makes that play in center field. De Aza does not go back as well as Danks does, and Danks makes one great play.
Johnny killed that thing.
Second consecutive day. He took a pretty good route to get there, and he got on the warning track and made a real nice grab. Victor was all the way around second base, which is what you're taught to do, so he had to retouch second base heading back to first base. We've seen a lot of really good defensive plays in the series on both sides.
This whole game has been full of great defensive plays on both ends. And Danks, who came in earlier in the game, is able to run that one down. Here's Avila. Alex with an RBI double and tied the game back in the 7th. He has also walked in this contest. In for a strike, 0-1. And 2 now on Avila.
Real nice breaking ball there out of the hand of Axelrod at just 74 miles an hour.
Tigers have only 1 walk-off win this year, and that was Peralta's home run against Andrew Bailey of the Red Sox back in June. It was a high, towering fly ball. Into deep right center, playable though. And Rios runs it down. 2 gone. Now Iglesias. Been a hitless day for Jose today. 3 ground ball outs and a strikeout. Trying to keep it going here in the bottom of the 11th. Leadoff single by Martinez. He is still at first. Strike 1 on Iglesias. Jose leads all American League rookies in average and hits in multi-hit games. We tried to hold up, couldn't do it. So he's in the hole in the count now, 0-2. Tigers have gotten the leadoff man on in 5 consecutive innings. Here's the 0-2. Inside, spins him out of there.
They've been able to score the run in only one of those innings, and that came back in the 7th inning where they got a leadoff walk.
A little too close for comfort for Iglesias.
He's already clean shaven.
Here's the 1-2. Checked it. 2-2 the count on Jose. Tigers have left 8 men on base in this game, 7 stranded for the White Sox. Fly ball, center field. Danks again going back. He'll have room, and the inning is over. No runs, the leadoff single, 1 left. On our way to the 12th. All right, thanks, Mick. Here it is, the 12th inning at a 2-2 game. And Jordan Danks will lead things off now for Chicago. Bruce Rondon back out there. He throws strike 1 to Danks.
A couple of nice plays made by Danks in center field, especially the one off of the bat of Johnny Peralta that he ran down right at the base of the wall in left center field.
Danks will be followed by Beckham and then Flowers. They are the hitters due up here in the 12th inning. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Triple digits again for Bruce Rondon. Bruce came on in the 11th inning, gave up a single, but then struck out Konerko and Gillespie in that end of the frame. And the 0-2. They will appeal, but it didn't look like he went, and he did not, says Jordan Baker. 1-2 the count. You got him, strike 3. Danks out of there. 3 straight strikeouts now for Rondon. He's going to bring up Gordon Beckham.
best slider we've seen Rondon with since he's come to the big leagues. And he's thrown several of them since coming into the game.
That was a beauty, and now here is Beckham. Grounded to third, fair ball, another great play by Iglesias who throws him out.
Oh my
goodness. He is absolutely no joke defensively.
His reputation preceded him before he got here, and to a man, everybody that I talk to and everybody that talks about this young man raves about his defensive ability.
As advertised. Wizard with the glove. 2 gone. Here's Flowers. I'm not sure what to be more impressed with that last play, his hand quickness or the quickness he exhibited to get to his feet and make a on the target throw to first base.
And we are going to be in for a treat for a number of years watching Mr. Iglesias play defense.
Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Flowers. This, by the way, is the 5th game of 12 innings or more for the Tigers this year. They had a lot of them early on, including a 14-inning game against Houston.
Had a 14-inning game against the Seattle Mariners as well.
Right. One and one. One and two. Rondon's hit 100 miles an hour 6 times already. Ground ball, second base. Easy play there for Santiago. Flowers is out. Inning is over. A 1-2-3 frame for Rondon. Austin Jackson due up second when we get to the bottom of the 12th. Look who's picked up a bat. Off the bench, Miguel Cabrera will pinch hit in a 2-2 game as we go to the bottom of the 12th inning.
This crowd hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about today, but when Miggy walked out of that dugout, they got up out of their seats and they are still standing as we speak.
And now Cabrera being announced. So the secret weapon coming off the bench for the Tigers. He took batting practice before the game today, took some ground balls, did not start the game, but he will pinch hit here in the 12th.
And this is what many of the 42,000 people came to watch anyway.
Two-2 game. Cabrera leads it off. And he swings and misses 0-1. Tigers still have Pena and Tuiasosopo on their bench.
Miggy hitting .500 against Axelrod with 1 strikeout.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cabrera this season batting .359, .385 against the White Sox with 2 homers. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side, and it's through a base hit. Cabrera just barely jogging to first base. They're going to have to lift him for a pinch runner, but he gets the job done. Leadoff man on. And Tuiasosopo will come on a pinch run for him. So again, the Tigers get the leadoff man on.
Miggy went up there looking for a first pitch breaking ball, which he got from Axelrod, and he swung right through it. And then on the 3rd pitch, he got himself a fastball away from him, hit it right past their shortstop, ALEXEI RAMIREZ, and then jogs to first base.
So the Tigers have gotten the winning run on to lead off the inning in each of the extra innings. Tuiasosopo pinch running. And a throw back.
I mean, Miggy has not had a plate appearance since Tuesday here, and he comes off and takes a couple of swings and singles right back up the middle. Awfully gifted player.
Meanwhile, Jackson 5 for 10 against Axelrod. Drops down a bunt foul. For 5 in this game for Jackson. That's the 6th straight inning now the Tigers have gotten the leadoff man out.
With Tuiasosopo pinch running for Miggy. The Tigers are down to Brian Pena as the only one left on their bench.
Tigers, if this thing got to the 13th inning, would have to bring Kelly into play, probably third base, move Iglesias to second, and have Tui stay in the game. But hopefully that won't matter. Here's a bunt. Out at first base. Sacrifice works. Now the Tigers again have a chance to win it. Flowers and Axelrod will talk about it. As Jackson is able to sacrifice the runner into scoring position, Torrey Hunter will bat. Three for 6 against Axelrod.
Miggy was 5 for 10 against him. Jackson hitting .500 against him, and Torrey also hitting .500 against Axelrod.
Bender missing inside 1-0.
Sounds like a winning recipe to me.
Well, let's see. Hunter batting .314. Had a pinch hit single to lead off the 10th. They tried to bunt him up, couldn't do it, and then one batter later, a double play into the inning. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
Alex Rios in right field has 8 outfield assists. He can really throw from right field. Danks in center field has just 1. Deaza in left has 3, but his 3 have come while playing center field.
Now the 2-0. Driven on a line to left field. That's a base hit. Tuiasosopo coming around to score. And the Tigers will walk off with a homestand sweep. Hunter gets it done. And here come the Tigers pouring out of the dugout. An undefeated homestand for Detroit. And it's Torrey that does the honors. Cabrera with a pinch hit single to get the rally started. And Torrey Hunter with his second hit of the day drives in the game winner.
Torrey got a changeup that stayed up in the strike zone, which sped his bat up, and he whistled it into left field. And by the time DeAza was able to get over and get it, Tuiasosopo, who was pinch running for Miguel, who led off with a single, able to score without a play. It's the 9th time this year that the Chicago White Sox have been walked off, which is the most in the majors.
What a homestand for the Tigers. They come pouring out in celebration as Detroit wins its 8th consecutive game. The White Sox have lost 10 in a row. And what a send-off to the road trip, which begins tomorrow in Cleveland. There are the two heroes right there. Cabrera got it started. Hunter finished it up, and the Tigers win in 12. We'll be back.